Hey guys, today we have Uzma and she is having total 3.5 year of experience in Java, Spring Boot and microservices. And guys, those who want to give same free mock interview, please fill out the form below in the description. So now let's get started. Hey, hello Uzma, how are you?
Yeah, hi. Fine. How are you?
Yes, I'm also good. Shall we start?
Yeah.
Okay, so can you please introduce yourself and your recent project in brief?
Okay. So total, I have 3+ years of experience, and majorly I have worked in it was an education-based app. So I have worked on it, and I've worked on Java, Spring Boot, microservices, Kafka, and Docker. So that's what I have worked on.
Okay, cool. So may I know the latest Java versions that you have worked on?
In my company, mostly switched to Java 17. First,
Java
we were
17.
using, yeah,
Okay.
Java
May I
8,
know the
and then
latest features that were introduced in Java 17?
so basically, which we have used more frequently was sealed classes,
Mm-hmm.
records, and switch statement, and
Mm-hmm.
then one more that block test. So
Okay,
yeah, we worked on these
got it.
features.
Okay, can you explain the working of hash map internally?
Okay, so basically the hash map internally works on it is in a bucket array of an bucket. So what internally it happens is whenever there is a Java object, the JVM converts it into some code, which is known as a hash code. Then that hash code is sent to the buckets,
Mm.
and in the form of an array, this bucket stores the codes internally, and so that's hash map works.
Okay, got it. What changes were introduced in Java 8 for hash map?
For Java 8 hash map, we have concurrent hash map.
No, no,
Uh,
no.
like
I'm asking about the internal working. Uh, because internal
uh,
working were different before Java 8 and different
yeah,
after
yeah.
Java 8, right?
Yeah, so I guess not that much aware of it, but
Okay.
roughly I think so. Buckets were like it was introduced,
Mm-hmm.
for making the internal working more simpler and.
Yeah, yeah. Okay,
Mm.
so basically in Java 8, if the number of elements in a bucket exceeds a threshold, the linked list
Okay.
is replaced with a balanced red black tree.
Yeah,
Before
yeah, red
Java
black
8,
tree.
there was no red black tree, only linked list was there.
Only linked list.
Okay,
Okay.
which improves the
Yeah.
lookup performance from ON to OLOGN in worst case scenarios. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, so Usma, can you tell me about volatile, synchronized, and atomic variables?
Okay, so volatile is for whenever we are working in threads. Suppose
Mm-hmm.
one thread is working and whatever changes are made in that thread. So
Mm-hmm.
I mean, before what would happen that the changes would not, reflect to the other thread, and that would cause inappropriate results and
Mm-hmm.
furthermore. So to overcome this, there is an volatile whenever we use volatile keywords, so whatever the changes are made in one thread, it will get automatic reflected to the
Mm-hmm.
another thread. And synchronized is for we can the threads are in queue, and so as to maintain the order and to mess up all the things, synchronized makes sure that only one thread works at an same time. So
Mm-hmm.
synchronized keyword is for that. And for mm, atomic, I guess it's like you
Atomic
without.
variables are also used in multi-threading concept, right?
Yeah, like can't recall it.
Okay. It basically provide lock-free, thread-safe operations using low-level CPU instructions, CAS.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can volatile alone ensure thread safety?
Alone, I guess no, alone it's not sufficient for the thread
Mm-hmm.
safety.
Correct, correct.
So we
Volatile
can,
only ensures visibility, not atomicity. So it
not,
cannot
yeah,
prevent
like,
race conditions, right?
yeah.
Okay. Before moving to the next question, hey guys, I want to share something important with you. Actually, Usma prepared from our interview preparation kit and cracked multiple interviews. We have also referred her to the multiple companies. So let me tell you, the interview preparation kit has four main parts. First is complete interview preparation material. It's a step-by-step material made by me, expert in MNC's interviewers. 99% of the questions asked in interviews are covered in it. Second is two real enterprise client projects. Code and video recorded sessions are there and you can add this in your resume. Third is lifetime chat support. Here you can ask your doubts anytime. Fourth is referral support. Here we help you to get referred to the top MNCs. So basically, the material is organized as per your experience level and covers Java, Spring Boot, Spring Security, Spring Data, JPA, microservices, Kafka, Maven, Git coding questions, Stream API coding questions, and many more. You can buy just the complete interview preparation material or the full kit with project supports and referrals. I have added the links in the description below. So now moving to our interview. So Uzma, could you please tell me the difference between thread, runnable, or callable?
Okay, so the runnable and callable is like the major main difference between these both is that
Mm-hmm.
in runnable we don't get any written, and
Mm-hmm.
in callable we get written, and
Mm-hmm.
like this is the major difference between runnable and callable, and the
Okay. Okay. So
yeah,
how would you cancel a long running callable?
cancel a long
Mm-hmm.
runnable. Mm, like
Okay.
not yes.
Yep. We can submit it using future. Do you know about future? Future.cancel.
Yeah, I have, but like I've not worked on it, but I have rough knowledge about it.
Oh, okay. So what's your day-to-day task in your current project?
So like it's an basic edtech app. So in
Mm-hmm.
that, like we have two interfaces, like an admin and a student.
Mm-hmm.
So I have worked on admins, which courses to update, and
Mm-hmm.
what price it will be, and how
Mm-hmm.
much durations, and a
Okay.
student like it will attendance who can check,
Mm.
and
So
that
are you
that
working with REST APIs as well?
yeah.
Okay, so
Okay.
if someone wants to create a REST API from scratch, so how would you do that?
Basically, we'll create an uh, normal Spring Boot application,
Mm-hmm.
and then like creating in multiple service layers and transactions and all that layers. Then we get that the URL. Then we have to check that URL in like in
Mm-hmm.
Postman. We use that they've been using the
Okay.
methods
So
of
tell
get.
me important annotations that we must use while working on
So
REST.
The main is that Spring Boot application.
Mm-hmm.
Again, in that thing, Spring Boot application, there are three. It contains the three basic annotation, that is like configuration, enable
Mm-hmm.
auto configuration, and component scan. So this is the three main. Then the main most is the REST controller API.
Mm-hmm.
REST annotation REST controller. Then we have the auto wire. Without the auto wire, we cannot inject the dependencies on that. So these are the main, like majorly, which we cannot do things.
Okay. Okay, got it. And what would you do in POM XML in order to write REST APIs?
We'll add the dependencies
Mm-hmm.
in POM XML. So like a web starter, we will add some more there's a dependency for Spring Starter web like
REST. Okay, so can
Spring
you tell me some starter names of Spring Boot that you have used?
Spring MVC,
Okay,
uh, then Spring Web Starter, then
okay.
for the
Security,
uh,
JUnit.
JPA I have,
Mhm.
and then for Tomcat, like embedded server and all that.
Okay,
Like,
so Tomcat is embedded server. If someone wants to use a different server, then what?
yeah, we can
How?
change in form XML by changing the dependency. Like if you want to use Jetty or
Mhm.
Undertow, so we can change it in a POM XML without
Okay,
changing the
so what's the process to change that?
Like whenever we in POM XML, first we go on Spring Initializer, and there we download the,
Hmm.
add the dependencies. From there we can select the undertow or jetty, whichever
Okay, okay.
dependency we
First we
need.
have to exclude Tomcat, right? Then
Yeah,
include.
yeah. So yeah, the first, if it is there or
Hmm.
from scratch, we have that we want to use jetty
Hmm.
or under, then that like.
Okay. Why do we need of pom.xml?
So as to there was an like a long boilerplate. So to reduce that, we have the only POM XML from where the each and every thing have been started, the dependency, whether which being to create, and everything starts from the
Hmm.
POM XML. So it's like an heart of an Spring Boot
Okay.
application. So
So it's a
the
heart of a
POM,
Spring Boot. Okay.
yeah,
And have you worked with Gradle?
Gradle, no.
Okay. And what's a brain of a Spring Boot?
Like maybe auto wired, like from
Okay.
there
So how
we can.
AutoWAD work internally?
So auto wire basically, it is it searches which have been added in the dependencies, and then
Hmm.
it creates further implementations on the
Hmm.
project. So it's
Okay.
like basically, yeah.
Got it. Okay. So moving ahead, um, can you tell me about Spring Boot application annotation? And it consists of three annotations, right?
Yeah.
And
So
explain all
basic,
of these.
yeah. So basically, Spring Boot application is majorly consist of a three main annotations again.
Mm-hmm.
First is configuration, another is enable auto configuration, and then there is an component scan. So like for the configuration, like whatever the dependencies we are configuring, which dependency
Mm-hmm.
we need, so we'll write it in under the annotation configuration. Then it is
Mm-hmm.
there enable auto configuration. Now in
Mm-hmm.
this enable auto configuration, basically it scans the class path. Then it
Okay.
detects which dependencies are there, and then that inherits the after scanning the class path and all it, and enables the whatever the configurations we have told,
Mm-hmm.
or we have what we have ordered to what we want, it gets in. And then other is there a component scan. So whatever the objects or whatever the beans have been
Mm-hmm.
created, so it will be scanned by that annotation component scan.
Okay. Got it. Got it. Okay. So have you worked, I mean, do you know about immutability in Java?
Yeah.
Yeah, please go ahead.
So, immutability is like whenever we create one object, we don't have permission, or we cannot change that thing again. So,
Mm-hmm.
whenever we change that object, a new object will be created,
Mm-hmm.
and so this is like this is not a good practice. So,
Okay.
like we cannot change. So, this is the main immutability.
Okay. Can an immutable object have a mutable field?
Mm, Immutable object, mutable field. I guess no, it can't be possible. Like object is wholly
Okay.
immutable. So
No, no, I'm asking like we have immutable fields like array list, right? Linked list. Can we add array list as a field in a immutable class?
in mutable class, we can add immutable.
No, no, no. We have created an immutable class,
Okay,
right?
immutable class.
Immutable class we have already created, right? Now
Mhm,
I want
mhm.
to add a field like list of marks, something like that. So
Okay,
I have
okay.
added a array list
Mm-hmm.
in immutable class. Okay, but we
Okay.
know array list is mutable.
Yeah.
We can change array list, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So can this be possible?
Like as array list is mutable, so maybe like we
Hmm.
can make changes in that.
Okay.
So yeah, it may be possible.
So it is possible, but then it will not be a immutable class because if we add a
Mhm.
mutable object, or
Yeah.
mutable things in the
If
immutable
they are
class, it
mutable,
won't
get
be immutable
violated.
again.
Yeah.
So we
Okay.
have to make an immutable it again. How we can do that? We have to ensure the field is not modified or exposed. So we should use defensive copying in constructor and getters.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
For example, instead of returning a list, we are just copying it somewhere and returning the copied list. So that if outside of the class, if someone is trying to change it, then that people is trying to change the copied list, not our original list.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Yep. Okay. So moving ahead, can you tell me the difference between checked and unchecked exceptions?
So like checked and unchecked exceptions are like the exceptions we get at the like compile time.
Mm-hmm.
Compile time we get it's called unchecked exceptions, and checked
Mm-hmm.
exception. Usually we get it on runtime exception,
Mm-hmm.
and unchecked exception we can handle and tackle it. You know, we
Mm-hmm.
can get through out of it, but like checked exceptions we can't.
Mm-hmm.
So that is the main difference.
Okay. Uh, when would you create a custom exception?
Custom exception
Mm-hmm.
exception. So like I have worked on in my, I have used it in my
Mm-hmm.
so like whether there is an some courses which one is not eligible for that, and we want to throw an exception, like suppose like in normal on Facebook, whenever we log in and put a birth date, if it's less
Mm-hmm.
than the 18, so we get an exception that you cannot log in it. So
Mm-hmm.
there, like we can use custom exceptions.
Okay. Um, can you tell me what are functional interfaces and also give some examples?
So functional interface is something we only have one abstract class in that.
Mm-hmm.
The major main point in that is functional interface. We can have the menu of the static and other
Mm-hmm.
classes, but the abstract class should be one. So the functional interface are like predicate,
Mm-hmm.
consumer,
Okay.
supplier.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, this
Okay.
other
Can a functional interface have a default or static methods?
yeah,
Uh,
as many as we
as
want.
many as we want. Okay.
Yeah, but only one abstract method.
Okay. Got it. Okay, so moving ahead, as we were discussing about something related in Spring Boot, like auto configuration, right? So I have a
Mhm.
follow-up question. How would we disable a specific auto configuration?
So there is an annotation, disable auto configuration. So
Hmm.
by using that we can disable the uh, auto configuration.
Exclude, right?
Yeah, exclude.
Hmm. Correct, correct. Okay, so how would you externalize configuration in a Spring Boot?
Externalize the configuration. Like I don't
Okay.
I'm
What's the
not
difference
aware
with
of it.
externalized configurations means by using application.properties or YAML, environment variables, value annotation, all
Okay.
this stuff. Okay,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
which one would you prefer, application.properties or application.YAML?
Application.yaml is most preferred one because it's
Why?
an cleaner and it's easy to understand. So basically, whatever we have worked, so
Mm-hmm.
we have preferred the YAML one.
Okay, but indentations is a bottleneck here, right? So,
Pardon? Pardon?
indentations are like we have to follow a pattern in YAML, right? Uh,
Yeah, yeah.
right? But there is nothing, no indentations and no rules and regulations in
Mhm.
properties
Mm.
file,
Properties file.
right? So, like in managing wise, properties file is easy and
Okay.
simple,
Yeah.
right?
Okay.
Okay, moving ahead, how would you implement logging system in a Spring Boot application globally?
Logging system globally, for logging mostly like whenever there is an whenever there's a application is not working, so first the
Mm-hmm.
foremost thing is to check the logs,
Mm-hmm.
and to implement that thing in the Spring Boot applications, I can't recall it. Like
Mm-hmm.
specification in Spring Boot application to implement logging. Are you asking, right?
Yep, yep. Logging means you have created one application, right? Now you want
Yeah.
to
So
introduce a
the
logging things everywhere.
Yeah, like logging is something that tracks your whole
Mm-hmm.
application, timings and records about your application. So logging is that thing, but never implemented, like in
Okay.
Spring, like not
So
worked on that part.
do you know about SL4J or Logback or
Yeah,
some?
SLF4J, like
Okay.
it's their tool,
So did you get a chance to work with SL4J?
no, not
No.
like.
Okay, it's fine. What logging things you currently are using in your project?
Mm, for loggings, like SLF4J is there for
Okay.
that thing. And then I have like one of our colleagues was saying like Resilience 4J is also there. So
Okay.
yeah, those are
Okay. But resilience 4J is a different thing, right? It's for the
okay.
tolerance and all, right? Okay,
Okay.
anyways, how you guys are managing the configurations between dev environment or staging environment or production environment?
For that thing, the like in microservices, we use the normal like Dockers
Mm-hmm.
and all that thing.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, there's there for making the link between all those.
Mm. Okay, got it. Um, what are some common production level configurations or practices in Spring Boot that we should follow?
Production level configurations. Mm,
Practices.
practices, okay. Mm. So like firstly and foremost, the layers of the each and every
Mm-hmm.
service should be separated out. No much, like every database should be separated,
Mm-hmm.
and the service layer should not very complex also. Like it shouldn't be monolith also, and
Mm-hmm.
too much like for database we don't have only we should not have many for different services for same database. Only one
Mm-hmm.
service layer should be sufficient. So yeah, this practices we can
Correct,
implement in our.
correct. Okay, and also we should always do health checks with actuator. We should always do
Yeah,
proper logging with
yes.
metrics. We should always do exception handling, proper encryption, right? Okay, one
Yeah.
question for you. Let's say you are working with REST APIs, right? Uh,
Mhm.
with a junior, right? With a junior developer.
Mhm.
Now you want to share some good practices to your junior that junior should follow while writing a REST API. So what good practices would you suggest him or her?
Okay. So, like, first and foremost, they should have the knowledge of the basic status codes. So,
Okay.
whatever the status code comes, so they have
Mm-hmm.
that is the foremost thing that you should have it.
Mm-hmm.
And then you should follow the rules, like for body and parameters, whatever the queries,
Okay.
we check in Postman. So, we should check that thing.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that thing. And like the URLs should be in a proper way, like a header and a
Mm-hmm.
version, whatever it's there. So like
Okay.
that should be followed.
Got it. Okay. So one question.
Yeah.
Um, you know about response entity, right? In REST API. Response entity. So what is response entity?
So like entity is like base for the database,
No, no,
like
I'm asking about a response entity. In REST API, we return responses with a response entity
yeah, like
through the
mm,
REST APIs. No, no. Okay,
mm,
so basically, if we want to include our header or if we want to include our status codes with the responses, we usually use response entity. Uh,
in that URL when we have to mention that.
yes, yes. We have
Okay.
when we are returning an object.
Yeah, yeah, okay. Mhm.
Okay, so are you securing your Spring Boot REST APIs? And if
Yeah,
yes, then how?
like uh, uh, s- uh, securing normally we are using the Spring Security, the major
Mm-hmm.
thing for that
Okay.
thing. And yeah, Spring Security, like
Okay.
it's a major.
Uh, okay. So are you using tokens, bearer tokens?
Yeah, bearer
So
tokens
how
to
are you generating that bearer tokens?
uh, so basically, it's it depends on the JSON, like in which format it's like, and it's encrypted in such a way that the normal end user cannot understand it. So
Mm-hmm.
it's in the form of encoded. So it is.
Okay. So why do we need a token?
It's like and for an authorization purpose. So,
Okay.
so anyone cannot access it. So major role
Okay.
for that is.
What's the difference between authentication and authorization?
So authorization is like who are you? Like for
Mm-hmm.
logging, like like for logging for authorization, like who is getting in. So authorization is basically about that, and authentication is about that, and authorization is like whether you have the authority to access that particular thing. Like
Mm-hmm.
whether like, if you are an certain employee, so do you have an authority to access to that particular thing? So that's difference about authentication and authorization.
Okay. Got it. Have you heard about stateless and stateful security configurations? Hello. Okay.
Hello.
Yeah. My question was, have you heard about stateless and
Yeah, so
stateful?
stateless and yeah, yeah. Uh, so stateless and stateful is like in stateless, the server don't remember your history and
Mm-hmm.
who were logged in and that thing is
Mm-hmm.
stateless. Then like major advantage for security purpose
Mm-hmm.
because every time you have to log in and no other person can third party cannot access to
Mm-hmm.
it. That is the stateless, and stateful is like that server used to remember your login and ID
Mm-hmm.
for long time. So.
Correct. Correct. Can you tell me the role of JPA repository in Spring Data JPA?
JPA and
JPA
uh,
repository only.
JPA. So like it's an for again it's just an
Mm-hmm.
rules for it's a basic JPA, and to like to implement that thing whatever there is in rule, to implement that thing we need an Hibernate.
Mm-hmm.
So like, they both are interconnected with each other.
Okay. Okay. So it provides basically CRUD operations, right? And it pagination and query methods for entities without
Yeah,
boilerplate,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
We just extend CPA repository, CRUD repository, pagination and sorting repository in the repository interfaces, if you remember, right?
Yeah, okay, yeah.
Yep, yep. Have you worked with the transactions in Spring Boot?
Yeah, transaction annotation is
Mm-hmm.
majorly used for to handle the database queries
Okay.
and what the transactions made in the in repositories to
Mm-hmm.
handle the data. So there I
Okay.
have used it.
Got it. How transactions are handled?
Um, like transactions normally mm, like can't recall it right now.
Okay.
Working within transaction.
Basically, Spring manages transactions using transaction annotation. It opens a
Okay.
session, commits or rolls back on the
Rollbacks. Yeah.
method end or exception.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Um, what is pagination and sorting?
So, like pagination is like, whenever we try to get the some data from the application, so we
Hmm.
don't want it in the huge bundles or in a huge quantity, so that then
Hmm.
the server has an issue. So as to maintain, in the proper sequence or in a particular, how much like it's in book when we read when a particular 10 pages we want, so for as same as like that, offset and page size, we so
Hmm.
that much we can retrieve it. So that's about pagination.
Okay. Got it. So, can you please tell me what are the advantages of a Spring Boot?
So the advantages of the Spring Boot is like first and most thing, the boilerplate has reduced.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And then a lot of burden from the coder side has been reduced to add the dependencies, and and
Mm-hmm.
because due to that adding and dependency, that that may create and the
Mm-hmm.
conflicts, like adding more same dependency more and more time.
Mm-hmm.
So that thing is overcome in the Spring Boot, through Spring Boot.
Okay.
And yeah,
And
like
disadvantages?
disadvantages, like like, already focused on the like
Okay.
advantages.
Okay. Yeah, sometimes due to some configuration level things, beans and all, beans overhead, right? We might
Okay.
face some issues. Okay.
Okay.
Have
Yeah.
you used Git?
Yeah. Like
Hmm?
used. Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah. Yeah. I
Okay,
have.
okay. You have. Okay. So just tell me 4 or 5 Git commands.
Git push whenever like team is
Hmm.
more than four five,
Hmm.
yeah, more than one also. So
Hmm.
as to showcase the code what I have, the changes what I have made for that
Hmm.
thing, I have used the git push
Hmm.
and then another is like the changes another thing um, uh,
Okay. So how do you resolve conflicts, Git conflicts?
conflicts
Hmm.
like not yet
Not
faced
yet
any.
faced any Git conflicts. I
Yeah.
mean, suppose two people are working on a same branch, they may face, right? So you haven't
Yeah.
faced Git commits yet.
No,
Okay,
no, no.
got it. Um, okay. So yeah, I think it's done from my end, and yes, it was a good interview.